Nation, it's Harry here. We're going around the horn with our contributors, so it's also turning into the fall season, but that's a whole nother story. We're with Larry Doyle out of Ireland. I always put on my Ireland hat, my Johnny Fox, when we talk to Larry each month. Larry, you're back from motorcycle riding in Europe and back to work, and you have a friend. So quickly, give us an update. What you did this summer. I always like to keep it real. So quickly, you rode through several countries this summer, and then introduce your friend William.
Oh yeah, well we hammered around on the motorbikes around about 11 countries in Europe over a month, and came back a few weeks ago, and now I'm up in Belfast in the office up here.
Oh, okay.
I'm still slightly inside. Brexit hasn't happened yet, so I'm still in the EU.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a joke. There's a joke in there somewhere. Well, who is William? What's going on?
William's he's a colleague of mine. We work together. William's a consultant in the IT industry and heavily involved in cybersecurity and Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. And we do a lot of project work together. So he's just here with me today. So include him in the conversation.
All right, welcome, William. And William, if you don't mind maybe self-introducing yourself, maybe a little bit of your background in technology, if you don't mind, and you appear to have an interest in security, and we're going to talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm originally an electronic engineer way back in the computer industry. So as I say, I pride myself in understanding it from the chip level upwards, and I've worked really well in the network integration, starting in the days of Novell and right through to the modern TCP/IP world.
And, whoa, I haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, and so we lived through all that growth and great times and pain and growth again, and been in the trenches with Windows over the years and Windows servers even.
Yeah, amen.
And now into the world of cloud and hybrid existence and all that sort of stuff. So
exactly. So William, when we were talking off camera, you talked about a strength and an interest in security. You brought to my attention something about dental clinics in the Midwest of the USA. Quite frankly, it's a story I don't know. Could you please tell that story to our audience?
Yeah, well, look, I don't want to, just in very brief terms, it was an MSP delivery model for dental clinics, and in recent weeks they have suffered an attack, unfortunately, for those practices, and their backup strategy, their recovery strategy was dependent upon an MSP delivery of their data. The company they wanted to mine their data, unfortunately, was attacked also, and I think the outcome was very difficult for all the practices involved. And what really brought it to my attention was that there is now a concerted effort going on in the industry to attack the MSP deliverers.
Yeah.
As a route of attack for small businesses. It's probably not pragmatic for every small business to defend itself to the degree that they need to. So they depend on their MSPs, and their MSP, particularly if they have a security role or a backup role, are going to have to be ultra vigilant going forward in terms of mining the credentials with which they log onto their clients' infrastructure. And so what's coming to light is that there is an absolute necessity to turn on multi-factor authentication and other methods of, particularly for technician access, so that and try and micro-isolate as many tenants or their subscribers as possible, so that one attack doesn't breach all clients.
No, you're spot on. I just have returned with a late night flight from Atlanta with the SolarWinds Empower conference, a 3-day, and that was actually one of the main topics. Now, it's interesting. SolarWinds, a friend of the family, they're presenting themselves as a security company in addition to their reputation for RMM and monitoring and management. But that was a key topic, was actually that MSPs, the bad guys. Let me frame it up. The bad guys are very smart, okay? And you should not underestimate the bad guys. And the bad guys now understand if they can attack an MSP, the MSP serves many. Does that make sense?
And so I think the whole area of micro isolation is going to become important, or at least what we call subscriber tenant isolation. In that, if one is compromised in any way, that doesn't lead to a mass compromising of
exactly
subscribers.
Yeah, and you're right about not only the multi-factor authentication, but here again, just to give a shout out to the conference I was just at. You're also talking about password management authentication. So SolarWinds was big on that, you should have a tool with one button. You can change all the passwords if a technician leaves the company or there's a compromise, right? I mean, obvious stuff. But what they found, William, was in their research, so we're having the proper conversation, but in their research, they found MSPs are surprisingly disorganized. Which,
well, it's a bit like the shoemaker's wife, I'm afraid. We have all the technology, but we don't hold it.
Yep, exactly. And well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I appreciate you guys bringing that to our attention this month, Larry. Appreciate you bringing a friend along. I realize it's a little bit later in the day over in Europe and early in the day over in Seattle, so I don't want to get between you and the Johnny Fox pub. But William, come back and see us again. And Larry, great addition, and I'm glad that you're back safely from your motorcycle rides. I guess it's safe to say it's time to get back to work, gentlemen.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jenny in the radio control room, as always, thank you. And folks, thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you.